Okay, guys, moving on to Carson Schwesinger. He was voted the most outstanding rookie in Browns camp, and he's the green dot wearer for the upcoming season, which got me thinking.
Blows my mind.
How quickly could Carson become a legitimate star? How quickly could he step into that role and not just be a productive linebacker, but like a really, 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 really good linebacker for the Browns? So I went back to the year 2000. And in the last 24 years, Bull, these are the list of rookie linebackers.
Yes.
Interior linebackers, not edge rushers. So,
Okay, I
Michael
got you.
Parsons made a Pro Bowl. Like,
Frederick
not
Warner.
included. Did not make the Pro Bowl as a rookie. These are the 7 rookie linebackers since the year 2000.
Loafer, that's my boy.
That made the Pro Bowl. I'm surprised it's that many.
As rookies. These are interior
This is all
linebackers,
Mike
not edge
linebackers.
rushers.
Yeah.
Brian Urlacher in 2000, Kendrell Bell in 2001, Lofa Tatupu in 2005, Patrick Willis in 2007, Brian Cushing in 2009, C.J. Mosley in 2014, and Leighton Vander Esch in 2018.
I know some of these guys are still playing, but Urlacher's the only Hall of Famer, right, in this
Who's
group?
still playing?
Patrick Willis is a Hall of Famer. Or
Oh,
will
he
be.
is?
If he's not, he will be.
You
Is
sure about
C.J.
that?
Mosley still playing?
Well, Leighton Vander Esch is
He
still
retired.
playing.
No,
Oh, he did?
He had a neck thing.
Yeah.
He's retired.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a Hall of Famer
guess,
this year.
I guess who?
Patrick Willis.
Oh, Willis went in?
just was inducted
Oh,
this
so there's
year.
2 Hall of Famers. I guess none of them are playing.
Is C.J. Mosley still playing?
I don't think so. I think you're right
I don't think
now.
so.
I thought he played last year, maybe 2 years
So
ago.
what's the possibility? I mean,
C.J. Mosley, by the way, played 4 games for the Jets last year. He is currently, according to Pro Football Reference, a free agent.
yeah.
Which means he's retired.
Yeah, he's been retired.
He's been retired,
Yeah.
whether he wants to be or not.
But he had a good, solid career. He was a solid
Very good.
player.
Yeah.
He was a very good player. Yeah,
I mean, that's a really
multiple
good
Pro
list of
Bowls.
That's 11,
linebackers.
10 years of play. And for a linebacker?
Yeah.
That's,
I mean,
He made All-Pro 5 times in his career.
Yeah.
C.J.
C.J.
Mosley. He was a
Mosley?
very good player. Yeah,
oh, he
all
might
those
be-
guys were good players.
they were.
Like, not just rookies. I mean,
No.
I think they all were.
Kendrell Bell's the one I'm not
Yeah,
as familiar
I don't
with.
remember.
I don't know
that
him
name doesn't sound
either.
familiar to me. But maybe we just, because, if a guy
Who
played.
did he play for?
If a guy played middle linebacker for a team we don't pay attention to,
I mean,
we're
that
not
was
going to remember him.
25 years ago.
He played for Pittsburgh and Kansas City.
I ain't
Was he a
hear-
Pro
He won,
Bowler
he won Rookie
after
of the
this?
Year, and that was the only time he was ever
I ain't hear
Lofa
Pro Bowler.
Tatupu was good.
That's my
Willis,
boy.
obviously Cushing, Mosley. Yeah, I mean, they were all pretty good players, except for Bell.
I feel
Didn't
like
follow it
Brian
up.
Cushing fell off.
But I don't know. What's funny is it shows how the game has changed because 5 of these guys are in 10 years. But since 2010, there's only been 2
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the last 15. If you had done the last 15 years, we'd only had 2. We'd have been like, oh, that's not a lot.
That's why I went to 24. Back to 2020
Yeah,
to
but
actually
it
have
was
some
a
names on the
different
list.
game when those guys came in the league. The game's very different
It's
now.
driven by linebackers.
I totally
Well,
agree.
yeah, because they ran the ball all
Yeah.
the time. This is a,
The odds of Schwesinger being a Pro Bowler as a rookie are slim. I mean, no matter how good he is, it's
I mean,
pretty
who's
hard.
the top linebackers? Roquan Smith, Fred Warner.
Logan Wilson up there? I don't know.
So I wasn't even necessarily asking, do you
Yeah.
think Schwesinger can become a Pro Bowler this year? I just wanted to show you the
Yeah.
difficulty of that position. But how quickly do you guys think he could step in and be not just like, hey, he was good for a rookie, but
Are
we're
you
talking
asking,
about
do we
Carson
think he's going to
Schwesinger.
be that level of
Well,
player
hang
at some
on.
point? Is
Yeah,
that the question?
that's what
Hang
I'm
on.
getting to.
Because
And how quickly he can get there.
when Mike said he's wearing the green dot, Ty was like, that's wild.
That's wild.
Okay.
So
yeah.
explain why that's wild.
Because he's a rookie.
Yeah.
Like a rookie coming in, it's so much stuff that you listen, when you first get to an organization, the first thing that you got to figure out is what you have. And it takes so many people so long to understand my assignment. Because obviously this is not like black and white. The pieces move and you got to know the adjustments. So it's a lot of stuff that goes on. Then you branch out to think about what the person next to me and around me, what they got. Then also on top of that, I got to make sure that this front is set correctly. The fact that he can do all of that and then on top of that be able to anticipate what the offense is about to do as a rookie, ain't even played in a game in the NFL, well, not in a regular season game, like that's that means he processed stuff unbelievably.
You
That's
gotta
ridiculous.
Be super smart, super fast at processing,
And
right?
understand and anticipation, like all of that.
But is anybody else disturbed by him rolling up his short shorts there?
I wouldn't
disturbed
have.
by
He
that?
shouldn't have rolled on. He should have cut him like I
Yeah,
did.
that was a little weird. But besides
The
that,
roll up
everything
and you
about
don't need to do. You cut
he
him.
seems like he's gonna. He seems like he's a. I think this is the. I was saying this morning. This is the first time in a long time that I think there's a lot of enthusiasm about. As bad as the Browns are on paper, I'm actually pretty enthusiastic about their rookie group.
I totally agree.
Right? When was the last time you were excited about a Browns rookie group?
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Denzel Ward.
That's a long time ago at this point.
2018, Baker and
and
Denzel.
Denzel.
Yeah, I mean, and part of
And
that's
Nick
because they haven't
Chubb.
had a
Was
lot of
Nick
first
Chubb
round
in that
picks.
draft?
No.
He was the year before.
Chubb was. Oh, yeah.
Was he
Chubb
not
in
this?
that? Chubb might have been in that
I
draft.
think
don't
he
remember.
was.
now.
I can't remember now.
Chubb might have been the second.
But
Chubb was the Baker.
Same year as
and-
Baker?
that's
Yeah,
what I
second round
thought.
pick that year.
That was the last year I was excited.
yeah, that was a fun group.
That's it.
But this year, I mean, Schwesinger has a chance to make an impact right away. Fannin has a chance to make an impact right away. Obviously, Mason Graham has a chance to make an impact right away. And we would have said Judkins. Instead, we'll say Sampson has a chance to make an impact right away. That's 4 guys that could get significant time week 1. And could be players of the game. 4 guys.
So the question is, how quickly can he become a star? Well, given the fact that he can handle all of those things, it's just all about what's that coach name? Taver? Is that the linebacker coach?
No idea.
Tavers, yes, correct.
It's all about how quickly Tavers can get him to see the game as quickly as JOK did. Like that, because he got all the intangibles as far as athlete. He can blitz, he's physical, he makes great tackles, he's all of those things. But what made JOK stand out to me was his, outside of the speed that he had, it was his anticipation. Knowing that the play, what was going to happen before it even happened, was ridiculous. It was nothing people could do to stop it.
Yeah.
And I think for him, him not being the traditional linebacker as far as a 255 type of guy, you always worry about, does he do well with his hands? Obviously, in this first clip where he destroyed the running back, that shows that he plays well with his hands. That's very important at the linebacker position because those guards and center is going to come up there. And if you try to just throw a shoulder in there, they just going to grab you.
Yeah.
So if he plays well with his hands and he's anticipating what's going on, he's shooting gaps like he just did on that play right there, he can be really, really good, really, really fast.
It's hard, though. You mentioned JOK. His first 2 years, he wasn't very good.
His rookie year, he's pretty good.
Yeah, his rookie year was
that's fair.
decent. The
he
next
was
two
fine
was
his rookie
terrible.
year. Then he stunk.
Yeah.
Then DeQuell Jackson cut him.
They had to put him in the right system.
And they put him in the right system, and he thrived.
Is DeQuell still with the Browns?
He's not.
Dang.
He's not, no.
Dang. You see that? I was going to blame this on DeQuell. I was going to say, if Carson Schwesinger ain't a starter,
How big is
we need to
Schwesinger, by the way?
blame DeQuell.
He's huge.
What's his size? What is he?
He's listed at 6'3", 240, but as someone, Ty, you saw him at practice.
Oh, yeah, no.
He makes the other linebackers look small.
So he's
It-
traditional linebacker size.
Yeah, he's close to it.
Yeah.
So the green dot thing, is that by default, or did you think he actually earned
Let
it?
me ask you
Because of
this.
the position.
Who else would you give it to?
Well,
Jordan Hicks was wearing it before, and then obviously he retired.
Who else would you give it to?
Diabate?
We haven't seen him all year.
Well, because I'm saying, there's
Is
got
he-
to be.
He's not even starting.
To
is
me,
he?
he had to earn it because, like you said, he's a rookie.
Yes.
So I don't care who it is.
If
he hasn't earned it, he's not ready. You give it to somebody else.
He must have been out there and been very loud and demonstrative.
Yeah.
That's the first thing coaches want because you're in charge of everybody knowing to play. So, like I said, when I met Fred as a rookie, that's the first thing. When you get out to practice, Fred is so loud, y'all ain't got to worry about a thing. Fred's going to call everything out. And I'm like, this rookie? You okay. We got out there. Fred called everything out. I was like, okay. So that means that Carson must be doing that.
This could be a really stupid question. I ask a lot of those. Could you give it to a safety?
Yeah, they did that before.
Have they?
Yeah. I feel like who was this? Did John Johnson or somebody have it?
Oh, you know what? Maybe he did.
He just got suspended. Did you see that?
No.
I feel like
I don't know
one of
what
them
it was
safeties
for.
had it before.
It might have been. Now that you mention
Yeah.
that does sound familiar. It
Give
might
it
have
to a
been
safety.
JJ3.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a good – I didn't think it was a bad question. I thought it was a good question. But usually it's a linebacker,
Usually,
obviously.
yeah.
But you're right. They're not going to give it to him if he can't handle it.
I don't think you'd give it to a corner.
No,
but
you
you
can't
can
give it to no corner.
You'd
give it to
find
a safety.
somebody else.
A corner
If
and they
you thought
all-
he couldn't handle it,
You'd
you would
find
find somebody
somebody.
else.
And you would have to give it to, if it ain't Carson, it's got to be Devin Bush or Del Pitt. That's the only two.
That
I can
tells
think.
you that this guy is ready to play. Now, how good he is, whether he's just good and he can, you could process fast, you could be super smart, doesn't make you a great linebacker. Clearly, he's got that part of the game down. But
I just need him to be loud and demonstrative.
do you think he's going to be a really good player? You think he has a chance to be a
He
Pro
got
Bowl
all
player?
the intangibles
Yeah.
to do it. I mean, when I watch his
Yeah.
clips, I mean, like, look at that. Block destruction is great. When I told you how JOK be going under blocks, he got a thing where he just slipped, he like dipped and ripped under the blocks to get under them guards. Like, that means his blitz pattern should be good in that standpoint. He should be fine. And in coverage, the only thing due to his ethnicity, I only question his speed in his coverage. He made plays in the coverage game, in the passing game. So, like, that would have been the only thing that I was concerned about.
I mean, that's fair.
I'm sorry, I just got to call it like I got to call a spade a spade.
I mean, you usually assume a white guy on defense is not that
Slow.
fast.
Yeah.
Ty,
That's fair.
Ty, he didn't run a 40, so I don't have a 40 number.
Yeah.
He did do the 3-cone drill and a 20-yard shuttle.
All right, the 20-yard shuttle should be, they say it should be 0.4 lower than whatever your 40 is. So if you ran a 4.20 20-yard shuttle, you should run a 4.6.
Okay, so what did he run 20?
He ran a 4.25.
That's
So
not
it should,
good.
So you should be like 4.65.
Oh, but he's a linebacker.
Yeah, he's
I mean,
a
that's not
linebacker,
bad.
yeah.
It tested in the top 7 percentile the last 20 combines.
All right, well, that's
Yeah,
pretty
so like
that's
for
good.
me, when I was running a 4.4, so my 4 cone needed to, or my 20-yard shuttle should have been 4 flat. That was the thing.
Right.
3.9, 4 flats was what we was looking for.
And what about the 3-cone drill, Ty? Do you know the
3-cone drills, anything under 7.1 is like the average. It's like that's
What do you
like
get?
for DBs.
Okay.
For DBs. So what did he run?
7.05?
Oh,
All
that's
right.
very
So
good.
better
He's
than
good.
DBs.
Yeah, he's good.
Better
So-
than the average DB.
so
And
that
that's in
means-
the top 6 percentile of the last 20 combines.
Oh,
So
that's
that means
good.
that
So he's a good
that
athlete.
means
And his
that
other,
his
real
tra-
quick,
his
his
change
other
of direction
combine
is
things that he
good.
did do the testing in, Tyvis.
Yeah.
You mentioned his ethnicity. He had a 39.5-inch vert.
Okay. You got
Shout
some-
out to Carson.
So he's explosive. What was
And
his broad?
What was your broad?
My broad was 10 flat.
He had 10.7.
He's more explosive than
Wow.
me. He's
The
explosive.
kid's a freak athlete. Is
Yeah,
what
he's
we
explosive.
pigeonholed him because he's white.
I didn't.
I
Don't
did.
put me in that.
I did.
I did too. All right, go ahead, Mike.
So I want to one last thing on Carson, then we'll move on,
Yeah.
and then we can get on. Tyvis, you have talked about the communication breakdowns in the secondary with the Browns a ton throughout the last couple of years. You've done a terrific job highlighting that. Are the back-end communications, is that a result of miscommunication from the green dot to the secondary?
No.
So that
No,
that
that's
won't fall on
yeah.
Schwesinger.
Yeah, that's a
in that sense.
secondary thing because your job as the green dot is to make sure everybody got the call, okay? And once that happens, everybody comes up with their own plans on how they going to play that call. Now, again, sometimes when I went back and looked at some of those breakdowns of the secondary, I told you it was some confusion on the formation. Now, the green dot could say, like, this is the formation, this is what we're running. But essentially, the safeties would see it first because they got the bigger picture. So it's really on the safeties to say what the coverage is or what the look that they see so everybody knows what they're playing. So I always blame coverage bust, not on the green dot. I always blame that on safeties.
Before we wrap up this rookie conversation, guys, who do you think makes the biggest impact in the first, let's say the first quarter of the season, the first 4 weeks?
Mason Graham.
Jason, of the rookies, first quarter of the season, biggest impact.
Stole his
I
answer.
want to say Graham, but I think to our untrained eye,
Yeah.
we would say Schwesinger. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
Because like Schwesinger might pile up the tackles
He
and have
will.
a pick or two.
Statistically,
we're
wise,
not
he
going to
probably
notice
will.
Graham as much.
That's exactly
Yeah,
it.
that's true.
I'm going to say Dylan Sampson because he has the opportunity in the first quarter. You know, Judkins is most likely not playing to start the season.
I really believe people sleeping on him.
On Samson?
Yeah.
See, I think Ford's a starter, is he not?
He probably
Right, but-
is, but Dylan
But he ain't
Sampson
taking
got some
25
game.
touches a game.
No.
If Dylan Sampson 10, 15 touches a game, he could put up big numbers.
I'm gonna tell you what messed up Sampson. What in the fans' mind is when Schwesinger smacked him like he did.
Yeah.
It gave fans like the thought that he he ain't running the ball hard.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Sampson got some great balance for a running back. It's kind of crazy. It was like it's not as good as Dalvin Cook was when he first came in the league, but it's pretty close. He's good.
Yeah, he's my guy for the first quarter to make the biggest impact.